Howdy folks, welcome to week 5 of our devlog, and we're gonna show you what I'm gonna show you what I've been doing this week, and a lot of it has been design, so it's just documents, stuff like that, and I'm not gonna show you that, but we're doing a new screen here, and I will explain what's going on here and stuff. But yeah, we're doing a new screen, and so yeah, this is gonna have multiple screens, and this is the planet lander screen, and yeah, you're gonna this is extremely primitive right now, as you can see. As I hope you will notice that, yes, it's extremely primitive. So there's a few things on here, and let me get a mouse cursor so I can point at stuff. So let me do that real quick. Okay, we're back. I've got a mouse cursor here now. You can probably tell what this is going to be. This is extremely primitive. I just started on this, so yeah, this is totally just so I can see what's going on and stuff. So we've got a few elements going on here. We've got some traffic that is possibly going to be on, it depends on what planet you're on. So on some planets there's going to be civilization and traffic and buildings and stuff like that. There's going to be deco down here. So obviously this is a planet surface, if you haven't figured that out. And so some of them will have an atmosphere, and if they do, they might have wind elements, and that's what these little lines are, so I can visualize what the wind is and what it's doing right now. And you'll eventually be able to upgrade, because those will be invisible, but you'll be able to upgrade your ship so that you can see the wind, what the wind's going to do. And so yeah, as you can see here, it's pushing the ship in different directions, so this will push it down and to the right pretty hard, and then let's see if we can find one that'll push the ship upward. Let's see if we can find some. Yeah, there's one over here. This one right here, just to the left of us, will push the ship upward. See, there we go. It's an updraft. And so yeah, we're gonna get some different stuff going with that. I've got the landing. The little blue thing is just an interim landing gear. Like I said, I'm just getting the physics worked out and everything like that. And so we've got, you know, something here is that this is because the planet is actually a circle. It's not, you know, it's not just a line with a left end and a right end. It's a circle. And so as you go around the planet, obviously you can wrap around to the other end. And so I do need to get in the code for the wrapping. For that, I do have it for the wind and stuff like that. I just don't have it for the traffic yet, because that needs to be a separate thing for each thing. And so one of the other things I've had to decide is how to handle the complexity that I'm going to be adding in here. So, and one of the other decisions is whether or not to basically finish off the junk shooting arcadey mode first, or and basically just do that as like version 1 of the game and do that as a standalone, or to basically make that built into this, and you can play arcade mode where you just play that, or you can do adventure mode too. One of the other things before I get much farther is that the other players on the adventure mode are not going to happen right now. I may add that as a later version 2 release or whatever, but for right now I'm not going to do multiplayers on the same computer, because it's way too much, way too involved trying to get what happens when you leave this screen to go to the next screen kind of thing. And yeah, so that's not going to happen right now. But anyway, so I've got a lot of different screens here. I can show you the yeah, let me just put up a picture of that. So I'll put up a picture, and you guys can see the basic diagram. So we're gonna have a lot of different screens. So like, you leave this screen by going up to the up past the top, and once you get up past the top, you can you can go to the next screen. You go to the orbit screen. And so on this screen, the other things you can do is you'll be able to I mean, there's elements of certain things. You'll be able to land on and rescue people that have been trapped or stranded or whatever, their ship crashed. You'll be able to do that. You'll be able to pick up stuff that people dropped or whatever. You'll be able to land on top of these things. Obviously the collisions are not set up for this right now. Let me do this. No fuel. There. Alright, I added some console commands too, as you can see. But yeah, you'll be able to land on top of these. You know, there will be like you know, oxygen or fuel or some kind of bonus things, maybe a bag of money or something like that, whatever it is, you know, something that makes you motivated to want to land safely on top of one of these ships. They're all going to be different shapes and stuff like that, obviously. But they'll be, you know, spaceships or atmospheric ships or whatever. Some of them you can land on, some of them, you know, you're just trying to not hit them as you go up to get, you got to get through traffic to get orbit, and you might get bonus things. Does that sound familiar? No, there won't be any space crocs, but there will be George hanging over your shoulder going, get the fly, right? But yeah, you know, so the basic idea with all these different screens is that I want to capture, there's a lot of old arcade games that had certain gameplay elements that were fun. They're not fun anymore. Those games aren't fun anymore because basically they're too simple and they're too repetitive. You know, you're repeating the same thing, the same little bit of stuff over and over. And they were designed when people were new to video games, and so you couldn't make them as sophisticated or difficult or whatever, that kind of thing. They had to be a lot slower paced and all that stuff. So yeah, you know, we're going to use this ship and these kind of the Newtonian physics here, and we're going to mix that into various gameplay elements of other old games. And so, you know, there will be a hint or a certain feel of a certain thing that you did in some game, you know, that I want to capture, that'll be fun, but it's not going to just be, you know, let's remake this arcade game, you know, kind of thing. So, at least not the entire game, just, you know, this part of it was fun. Let's see if we can incorporate that little element of it into, you know, into a space adventure game. So yeah, we've got, when you land here, if you land hard, you bounce. If you land even harder, you actually take damage. And so let's see if we can, see if we can take some damage here, landing. And I'll show you. Bonk. Nope, not yet. But yeah, like I said, I still got a lot of fine tuning on that. So yeah, some of the other gameplay elements that we're gonna do will be certain things like you'll be able to go into orbit. And when you're in orbit, and you'll be able to orbit the planet, I think. I want to try to work that out to where you're basically flying, you know, you're orbiting the planet, and you've got to do all of your stuff in that mode where you're basically circling around, and everything else is also circling around the planet. And so, like, when you dock with the space station, you have to it's moving, you're moving, you have to dock with it, you know, that kind of thing. I want to do that kind of thing. I want to incorporate the piloting skill element into this too. But yeah, so I got I had a total of, let me check and see, and it blanks the screen when I do that. I had 26 hours last week because I had other stuff going on too. But yeah, I did a lot of design. I had pages and pages of just ideas and design documents and stuff that I wanted to get out of my head and on paper, not on paper, but in a text, on a document, so that I knew, you know, what I'm going to do on each screen. And it's funny because as soon as I started doing one screen, it was like, oh, I could do this other thing, you know. As soon as you start, you know, thinking about how it's going to play on the screen, you think about other things that can be added in and stuff. So I mean, it's been it's a very fertile ground for ideas and stuff, which is encouraging to me. It's also intimidating because it's every time I think of something, it's like, oh, I gotta try to figure out how to program that in. But yeah, so this week I just got the surface, I got the landing, I got a very, very, very primitive of everything. Everything here is super primitive. So yeah, if it looks really horrible, that's because it is right now, and it's not going to be. So we're going to get really nice graphics for the ground. We're going to get a lot more details. We're going to put deco in and stuff like that. We're possibly going to have oceans and stuff like that, but you're going to have weather and all that stuff. I don't think I'm going to have anything in this game where you actually get out of your ship and walk around or that kind of stuff. I don't want to get that involved. Yeah, so that was basically all I did this week. I've got, like I said, I got started on the lander screen. This is actually going to be the starting screen, as you're going to start on a base, you know, and you can take off, and there's not going to be like any super difficult stuff at the very beginning. You're going to be able to go out and adventure and stuff like that. But anyway, I think that's all we've got for this week. I know this is kind of a short update. But yeah, that's all we've got this week. I'm going to continue working on this screen, and probably get started on adding in the orbit screen and see what I can get going with that, because I probably want to get some of the primitive elements in first and then start adding in the details. But I've got this, I really want to get the 3D modeling going, and so I've been fighting with myself over whether I want to get the 3D rendering working or get more of the mechanics working first. But anyway, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you guys for for following along, and I hope you can see the potential in all these things as much as I do. And if you can't, well, you probably see it as it comes along more. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Later.